Once upon a time, there was a wise king who ruled a prosperous kingdom surrounded by mountains. He cared deeply for his people, but in recent years, he had noticed something troubling. People constantly complained about their difficulties, yet rarely did anything to improve their own lives. The king thought about this every night before sleeping and finally decided to do something about it. On a dark night, when everyone was already asleep, the king left his palace disguised, accompanied only by his most trusted advisor. They carried an enormous stone and placed it right in the middle of the main road that led to the city market. It was such a large stone that it completely blocked the passage, but the king did not just do that. He also hid beneath the stone a small leather pouch filled with gold coins. When the sun rose, the road began to fill with people. The first to arrive was a wealthy farmer who was taking his goods to market in a luxurious cart. Upon seeing the stone, he stopped abruptly and shouted furiously, "How dare they leave a stone that size in the road?" He muttered harsh words about the incompetence of the kingdom's guards and simply steered his cart through the field beside the road, crushing the wildflowers that grew there. Soon after, a group of merchants arrived from afar. They stopped, looked at the stone, and began arguing animatedly among themselves. One said the king should hire more workers. Another complained about the taxes he paid, and that even so the road was not properly maintained. A third suggested they write a formal letter of complaint, but none of them touched the stone. They simply went around the obstacle and continued on their way, still complaining. The morning progressed and many other people passed by. Soldiers on horseback, ladies in elegant litters, hurried students, all encountered the stone and all did the same thing. They complained, cursed, criticized the government, but none of them tried to remove the stone from the road. Some even stumbled when passing it, blaming fate for their bad luck. The king watched everything hidden behind a leafy tree, and his heart grew heavier and heavier. Was there no one in his kingdom who had initiative? Did everyone just wait for others to solve the problems? It was almost noon when a young peasant woman appeared. She carried on her back an enormous bundle of firewood that she had collected in the forest to sell at the market. Her dress was simple and patched, her shoes worn from use, but her eyes shone with determination. Upon seeing the stone, she stopped and carefully set down her load on the ground. The young woman looked around and saw the marks on the ground where dozens of people had simply gone around the obstacle. She then approached the stone, touched its rough surface and calculated its weight with the experienced eyes of someone accustomed to hard work. The stone was indeed very large and heavy. It would be much easier to simply go around it like everyone else had done. But then she thought, if she left the stone there, other people would stumble. Older people could get hurt, carts could break. No, she could not simply ignore it. So despite being tired from the long walk through the forest, despite the strong midday sun, she decided to act. The young woman began to push the stone. At first, it barely moved. Her hands slipped on the smooth surface worn by time. She tried from one side, then from another. She looked for a strong branch to use as a lever. She dug a little around the earth to facilitate the movement. People who passed by looked on with curiosity. Some even laughed quietly at the girl trying to move something so large by herself. But she did not give up. Little by little, inch by inch, sweating under the scorching sun, she managed to roll the stone off the road. Her arms ached, her back screamed in pain, but she continued. And finally, after almost an hour of intense effort, the stone came completely off the road. The passage was clear again. Exhausted, the young woman was preparing to pick up her firewood and continue on her way when something caught her attention. In the exact place where the stone had been, there was a small cavity in the earth, and inside it, a leather pouch. Curious, she picked it up and opened it. Her eyes widened as she saw the gold coins shining in the sunlight. There was also a small rolled-up scroll. With trembling hands, she unrolled the scroll and read the message written in the elegant handwriting of the king himself. To whoever removes the obstacle from the road, this gold is yours by right. You did not just complain about the problem, you solved it. May this reward be a reminder that every obstacle overcome brings with it a hidden blessing. At that moment, the king emerged from his hiding place. The young woman, recognizing him immediately, fell to her knees, but he gently helped her up. "My daughter," he said in a soft but firm voice, "today you taught me that there is still hope for this kingdom. While hundreds of people complained, only you acted. While others avoided the problem, you faced it. This gold is yours, but the true wealth you carry is something no coin can buy. The story of the stone spread quickly throughout the kingdom. People began to understand the profound lesson the king had taught. The young peasant woman used the gold wisely, but more important than that, she became a living example of a powerful truth. How many times in our own lives do we encounter stones in the road? How many times do we complain about problems without doing anything to solve them? Life will always place obstacles in our path. We can avoid them, complain about them, blame others for them, or we can stop, gather our courage and remove them. And when we do that, when we choose to act instead of just react, we often discover that beneath every difficulty we overcome is hidden a blessing we would never have found if we had simply gone around the problem. The reward does not come just from complaining about the difficult path. It comes from paving it for those who will come after us.